It has long been the conservative ideal that we should have limited government, limited taxes, and a balanced budget in the federal government. However, despite this, it seems like we vote for people over and over that promise this type of action, yet we rarely see anyone act to make it come to fruition. Conservatives have been starting groups like the Freedom Caucus and the Tea Party, demanding that the government start to have a balanced budget, spend responsibly, and lower our taxes. I plan to enforce these positions. The first thing I would do is lower taxes for everyone. This includes the wealthy and average people like me and you. Now, Democrats say that we need a progressive tax scale, which is fine, but we do have to understand that low taxes on the wealthy ensures innovation and job production, which ends up helping us all in the end. This also means that we should have lower taxes on the regular people and middle class America in order to ensure they have money to spend and drive the economy. However, what most people won't say is by advocating just for lower taxes, we also need to offset that by being honest and saying this means less government programs. Democrats often say more programs and Republicans often say less taxes, but they never talk about the rest of the equation, which is if you're going to have more programs, that means more taxes. So as a Republican, if we're going to advocate for less taxes, that means less programs. Here are some of the ways we could cut. First, we need to stop the expensive foreign regime change wars. This is places like Iraq, which was a mistake, Syria, Libya, and all across the globe. We end up financing rebels that end up being our enemies 20 years down the road, which leads to these never-ending costly wars, which not only hurt us economically, but also hurt us with great American patriots that have to sacrifice their lives overseas for causes that don't help the defense of our country. We could also cut back significantly on foreign bases that we have over 400 of around the world, many of them doing nothing but place our troops in harm's way. We need to have a slimmed down military that isn't engaged in technology such as tanks that was used to fight older style wars, but one that could have quick strikes and attack effectively. This doesn't mean that we don't have an effective military. To the contrary, we try to use diplomacy, but if it can't happen, then we strike with such lethality that it will deter any further people from trying to act as aggressors towards us. We also need to cut back social programs. Of course, we need to have social safety nets, but these shouldn't be ways of life. This should be just a safety branch until you can get back on your feet. However, Republicans often talk about this, but don't talk about the need to end corporate welfare, which is an even bigger problem. This is the idea that certain companies or banks are too big to fail. That is not capitalism. Capitalism is if you engage in risky behavior and you fail, then you fail, and the government isn't there to bail you out by playing favorites. There are far more ways that we could use to decrease the programs that we spend. We also should be looking to audit the Federal Reserve and possibly get rid of it. The Federal Reserve is not instituted in the Constitution. It should be the power of the federal government to print and coin its own money, and the Federal Reserve is a scam that has private business interests loaning our country money, which we should stop. Due to all these things, I think that we are in a situation that's unattainable in the future where we have massive debt that our children and grandchildren will have to pay for. We need to lower the taxes, we need to get a balanced budget, and we need to end the problems that exist with the Federal Reserve. Thank you.